Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Yo, what's good? How y'all feeling? We right back here with the Sorry True Podcast. Shout out to everybody that's coming into the chat, coming into the live. You already see what we got up here on the screen. We're going to jump into that pretty soon. Give me a minute. Give me a second. A lot of new revelations, a lot of new evidence coming on the table now. I mean, it feels kind of fast with all of this kind of mounting up, right? Julio was shot and murdered about a month ago, right? And this has really got put together kind of quick. I mean, you think that all crime should be solved within, a day or something like that. It doesn't work like that. Whether they pretty much got the evidence on you or not, for them to round up all 5 suspects and then including all the traces that's going into other people. And of course, the whole ATK and KTA gang war and all that, they got a lot going on. And I see this new video that 1090 Jake put together. Let me give a big salute and shout out, of course, to 1090 Jake, continuing with the stellar, amazing content. I want to say some of my favorite channels right now when it comes to people putting together news and clippings and just summarizing things for us. On a rap tip, of course, What's the Dirt? That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? Really, really rock with his channel. I think next up he's got coming the Family Matters breakdown. He said, I want to see if he's going to do Meet the Grams, right? But we off that topic for now. Who else we got? Of course, we got Trap Lord Ross. Shout out to him. Amazing content he puts together in the form of all out documentaries. He's got a recent one that dropped. It's like 3 hours long. I got to go through that one. 1090 Jake is another one. 1090 Jake, man, he gets stuff done, some of his content done a lot of times in less than 20 minutes. And he's got some longer content as well. But when it's like rappers involved with murders or shootings and stuff like that, you could tend to go to his channel and get a good recap. He does a lot of homework. I feel like he's got his formula put together where he goes to get his information, get his paperwork, go to certain websites and all that. So you could count on 1090 Jake, man. Could count on 1090 Jake. I don't remember seeing a video that he had to take down because he was just flat out super wrong or anything like that. So shout out once again to 1090 Jake. We're gonna go through this video. But yeah, it's been a lot going on outside of these updates right here. On a battle rap side, y'all see it's been kind of loud outside. A lot of controversy, but we do have some events coming up this weekend. So everybody stay tuned. We got some more rapping on the way. If you're a member of the channel, you see at the Full Circle battles drop. You got Big K versus Coach Coleon. You got Arsenal versus Rosenberg Raw. And you got Ill Will versus Emerson Kennedy, which some people are saying is a classic. All on the channel for y'all. We also dropped Jay Moore versus Young Riddick. That's not members only. That's available to the public. And I got more coming for y'all as well. So all right, those are just some updates. Continue to drop in the comments for me too, if there's specific topics that you want me to touch on, whether it's in battle rap or whether it's in general. We're here for both, right? We're here for all. So let's get back to this Julio Foolio update. I want to say this, man. I'm a guy that I don't do the whole damn, man, don't wish jail or nothing like that. I try to avoid saying that. I try to avoid saying things like throw them under the jail. I try to avoid saying that, even if that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I try not to disrespect people's freedom. I try not to disrespect people's health. I try not to disrespect people's lives because you only get one, right? But at the same time, I do want to be clear with people that fuck with me on this channel. And I think it's pretty clear to y'all, even when I avoid certain words and certain terminology, I don't support that type of stuff, right? I don't get intrigued and just like, yeah, gangster shit. And that, like, nah, like I'm not out here just being overly supportive of people running around thinking that they can just, just shoot people up. And I understand that there be these gang wars and street shit is street shit. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a guy that's going to see stuff like this and then just be like, damn, that's foul, man. Free them or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, That could have been my cousin in the driver's seat. It could have been my brother in the back seat. It could have been your sister as an innocent bystander getting shot in the background or some shit like that. You could have been at the Holiday Inn that night. You could have been at the party that night and it went up. I don't condone this type of stuff at all. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that the detectives and Tampa police and Jacksonville police and the feds and all these people came together and they rounded these five suspects up, I say like this: if they're innocent, set them free. If you got a world of evidence on them and they are guilty, I don't think people should really miss that, because we just don't need that in the world. The people just running around with high-powered rifles, just shooting each other up in brazen situations. The world is the world, man. But I think most of y'all agree with me that we don't need that, and people are scared to talk like that because of this street code. You know what I'm saying? You never say anything about people going to jail. I mean, until it happens to you or yours, right? You know what I'm saying? If you can't have street justice, or if you can't carry out justice on your own, and somebody go ahead and arrest your brother, your mother, your father, your daughter, your son, your cousin, your best friend for murder, you're not going to say free them. Get the fuck out of here. You're not going to give a fuck what happens to those people. You might be one of those people that go to court just so you could have the moment to jump over the fucking banister and try to get your hands on a person real quick. So, if you're innocent in any situation, free you. If you're guilty, we don't need this type of stuff in the world. So, a lot of new evidence, man. Let's check this out.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, but I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, I know, just chill.
Hey, Magnif, and shout out to the members. I only paused it because you're a member. Why you say that, G? What's wrong with 1090 Jake? I hope you're not doing the because he's white thing. We're not gonna sit here and just attack Vlad and 1090 on the premise that they're white. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're bad for any culture, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, then get the fuck on. But 1090, when it comes to his coverage on street shit, first of all, he's a street guy. He's got a street background. You know what I'm saying? He served his time. He's a gang member. He was active. He did a lot of stuff, put in his little work and had his little situations. So from a street standpoint, he's qualified to speak on street shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too much past that of his personal background or whatever. I've seen little allegations, and I also seen videos of him trying to squash rumors on him or whatnot. But when you say our culture expands all races, right? You go over to Asia and see how big hip hop is, right? Sometimes there's pockets of it that's bigger than it is here in the States. You know what I'm saying? So the hip hop culture, which is an urban black culture, is shared amongst all races. So I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not sure why you said that, and I ain't coming at you, homie. I was just curious when I see comments like that.
Another Foolio video, I get it, yeah. But we got some major updates, and we pretty much have all of the evidence, and we're gonna break it down bit by bit. August 3rd, 2024, the state attorney's office filed a motion to basically keep Isaiah Chance, aka Gutta Zay, in jail. Reason being, he and 4 others allegedly traveled to Tampa from Jacksonville and killed Julio. We know the story by now, and if you don't, you can catch up on my other videos. But within the factual basis of this motion, we would get the new major details and the evidence against them that we're about to break down. Zay and Alicia drove to Tampa the day before the murder in a silver Chevy Cruze, while Sean, Rashad, and Davion were inside of a black Chevy Impala.
The day before, now they got a lot of evidence that this is all premeditated, which comes with its own set of charges, which is why in Florida, I believe that they're going to be facing life and possibly even the death penalty, right? Drove the day before. So, obviously there's always been all that talk of, Foolio dropping his location on Instagram while he went from Airbnb to party to Holiday Inn and all his movements during the day and all that type of stuff, right? But to drive from Jacksonville to Tampa the day before, right? Then once again, the premeditated, the plot, and even taking these type of trips. Damn, they was targeting this man. They call him Jack, the biggest op in Jacksonville, right? Wow.
License plate readers would literally be able to track the exact route traveled between the two cities, and a search would be conducted for any vehicles matching the make, model, and year range of the suspected vehicles.
Now, the license plate reader thing, you know, one thing that I seen in a different video, that license plate readers are even being pulled off of, I think, like tow trucks and shit. Like they're allowed to have license plate readers or something like that. Like for all y'all just think that the only thing that's out there is a couple Ring cameras and, you know, maybe in the hood they got some fucking cameras on the edges of the building or that type of shit. We are in a digital world, B. We are in a digital fucking world. License plate readers on just random cars and devices that's just out there in the streets, and you're driving through all of this. It's like impossible to get away with shit, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. Hopefully it fucking deters y'all from getting into this type of shit. Damn. License plate readers.
Detectives quickly found a tag for a black 2008 Chevy LTZ.
Damn.
Registered to Sean Gaithwright's mother. Another tag would be found for a 2018 silver Chevy Cruze, registered to a female who shares an address with Rashad Murphy's blood brother, who's currently in prison.
So they're using cars and shit that's tied and registered to family members. Like, very, very wild, very, very bold, or you could call it stupid, you know, depending on how you fucking perceive it. But you even see it in movies. Art imitates life. You know what I'm saying? You'll see how people will go to the next level and they'll steal a car and then they'll go commit the crime or do the bank robbery. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some people even fuck up. They try to do rental cars or some shit like that. Wasn't Young Thug like the car that was involved in that situation? Didn't they say it was rented by Young Thug? Like, people really be tripping, but I guess they just don't really be caring. And when they just want to get something done, they want to get something done. But you be traveling in your mom's car or your brother's car or your own car and all this type of stuff. Like you see the O Block situation, that silver, what was it, a Chrysler or something like that? It was in videos and interviews after that, parked in the parking lot in O Block. You know what I'm saying? Let alone when they piece together all the footage, you see it, you know, coming into the area where FBG Duck was shot and then pulling back into O Block later on and going through all these traffic cameras and all that type of shit. And it's like, you watch, even in movies, once again, art imitates life. You go watch movies like The Town, like they rob the bank and then they pull up somewhere, they torch the car and then they switch cars. You know what I'm saying? The switch car. Like, niggas don't even be doing that. Niggas be keeping the guns that was used, fucking souvenirs, the cars that was used, the cell phones that you sent texts and phone calls with. They be keeping all of that, like before, during, and after. Like, it's crazy. It's fucking nuts.
Detectives pieced together that they left Jacksonville around the same time Foolio was posting to Instagram about his Airbnb party. Surveillance cameras would show Zay and Alicia tracked Foolio to two separate clubs, and at both locations they got out of the vehicle while Zay used Alicia's phone to communicate with Sean. Sean's Chevy Impala could be seen on video arriving at both clubs after Zay's communication. Foolio was driven to the hotel in a 3-car convoy. While at the hotel, Zay and Alicia drove by Foolio's pod car twice. A Tesla camera in Sentry mode would capture both suspect vehicles on camera, as well as the shooters approaching on foot. The first shooter was masked with dark skin, military boots, dark jeans with a rip in the left knee, a black belt, and a black hoodie. He was carrying a Glock in his left hand that had an extended magazine. The second shooter was tall, skinny, wearing a dark blue hoodie and black pants. His light skin complexion could be seen above his mask to the top of his hood and between his gloves and sleeves. He was carrying an AR with a shell catcher. The third shooter was heavier, wearing all black with an orange ski mask, and also carrying an AR with a shell catcher.
Are shell catchers illegal? I think in certain places, even like wearing or under certain circumstances, like bulletproof vests might be illegal, depending on if you got charges already or felonies on your record already, or in certain states, like I think body armor can be illegal. But shell catches, I wonder if I don't are shell catches illegal, or is it something that is justifiable because maybe you're just going to a range or something like that, and you're responsible for your cleanup, so shell catches come in. But shell catches within itself, it's like it just adds to like all the premeditated stuff, right? Like it's no different than people scratching their cereals, right? I just feel like stuff like that just gets so simple. Those little details that they bring to trial, the prosecutors in the state or the feds, scratch cereals, shell catches, like all these little details about how you're moving. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put all that shit on the table, all of it.
Intruder 1 was the first to fire, and as detectives observed the muzzle flashes along with the impacts on the windshield of Foolio's car, it became obvious the Glock had a switch and was firing automatic. 31 9mm shell casings would be left at the scene, while not one rifle round was found because of the shell catches. License plate readers would again capture the vehicles after the murder. The crews traveled back to Jacksonville while the Impala went east towards Polk County. Both vehicles would be placed into the system as felony wanted vehicles, and 3 days after the murder, sheriffs in Gwinnett County, Georgia, would attempt a traffic stop on the Silver Cruise. The driver, a black male, jumped out of the driver's seat running away on foot. He'd be arrested for obstruction and identified as Rashad Murphy. Damage on the side of the vehicle matched the damage that could be seen from surveillance in Tampa, proving this was in fact the same vehicle used in the murder. That same day, the Chevy Impala would also be found. Detectives made contact with a member of Sean's family and obtained a statement. The witness said Sean called him saying he was on his way to visit and arrived the night of the murder. The witness confirmed he was driving the black Impala, and the witness also said while Sean was at the house, Sean said he had given a ride to a couple of friends.
I wonder who that witness is. Obviously somebody that knows him. And it happens that fast. Like, people don't be playing with their fucking lives and their freedom when it goes down. Everybody talk that stop snitching shit and whatnot until they knock on your door or until you sitting in that box. Who? Sean? Yeah, he drove down last night. Oh yeah, and just that fast. You know what I'm saying? No, they just say the witness.
He'd eat dinner, rest in one of the rooms, then make his way back to Jacksonville. But instead of taking the Impala, he'd drive back in a gold Toyota 4Runner, also registered to his mom. The witness provided consent to review their home camera footage, and Sean could be seen arriving at the house in all black.
The witness agreed to allow them to review the home footage. So you know how stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that they wouldn't get their hands on that regardless, because once they feel like you have any involvement and they press you, or even before they press you, they can just go to a judge and probably get a warrant for that. You know what I'm saying? We want to go to this house and we want to review this footage, right? And by then, sometimes you like stores do that in certain situations. You never know if the footage disappears, right? But before even getting a warrant, that's not what we're hearing right here in the reports. Like, he's reading paperwork right now, whatnot. So we don't hear about that. We don't hear about the footage being destroyed. This witness that he's talking about is fully cooperating. Oh yeah, as far as the car and the drive down and all of this. Oh, you need the footage from the crib? We got you here. Just leave me out of it. Just like that.
He could also be seen wiping down the Impala with a rag and transferring bags from the car to the garage, which would then be placed in the Toyota.
They got footage of him wiping down the car.
That same night, Sean would get pulled over in Jacksonville. Sheriff smelled marijuana, searched the Toyota, found a Glock in the center console, one of the bags seen on video containing 223 live bullets and 9 spent casings, along with a 9mm barrel and a Glock firing pin. The barrel, pin, and the Glock didn't match the casings in Foolio's death, but the spent rifle casings came back to 2 shootings. One was a homicide in Jacksonville, and the second shooting was the prior attempt on Foolio's life when he was shot in the foot.
That is crazy. The whole thing of the firing pin and the chamber that didn't match, that's odd. That's like, we could just say that you're just a gun guy. You're just swapping around that type of stuff. There's different reasons to change that type of stuff out of your hammers. Sometimes it could be for performance and speed. Like there's different trigger weight and trigger pulls and all that type of stuff. Changing your barrel and playing around with compatibility. Even the AR platform. There's a lot of zombie rifles out there. You know what I'm saying? People build out their uppers and they keep their lowers and all that type. That's just more rifle talk, right? So there's a lot of zombie stuff out there. People build on their platform, right? But that type of stuff not matching, but you just having it loose in the car, very odd, very odd. But if it doesn't, apply to the murder and you can't match it, then it just is what it is. Maybe it's just one of those things that looks odd, but anything that looks odd gets said in front of the jury, and the jury still got to hear that. But the other casings that's found that match, and you're saying they match not only another murder from prior that's not even fucking tied to this, but also the shooting from Foolio prior when he got shot in his foot. So now you look like the person that not only was involved in his murder last month, but also the person that was involved with his prior shooting. That's crazy. So you now look like somebody that has been trying to kill Julio for a minute. And why you even still have those casings from the prior shooting? Another question.
Would mean Sean is not only charged with killing Foolio, but was in possession of evidence linking him to a failed attempt at killing Foolio.
Yeah. That's wild.
The day after Sean was caught, sheriffs executed a search warrant on Sean's house. They'd find a gun safe and multiple rifles, with one having a brass catcher attached. 2 spent 9mm casings were also found inside the safe, matching the casings found at Foolio's crime scene. So not only did Sean keep casings from when he allegedly tried to kill Foolio, Sean kept the casings from when he allegedly did kill Foolio.
Why? Whatever happened to a lake or a sewer? Like what? In a safe, maybe you feel like, oh, it's a safe. So it's with me forever because I'm the one with the passcode. Safes get cracked, safes get broken into. They can get a warrant to open that. Or like what? Any safe could you can get into. Any safe. Bank safes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't say wait. What is he doing? And I'm not trying to help anybody escape. I'm just looking at the overall. There's just reckless people. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the murder, before, during, after, just very, very reckless people. Like these are like what? Souvenirs? Like the spent casings from the actual murder as well as the prior shooting? Souvenirs? Like that's fucking wild. Like anything tied to any shooting, including the gun. Remember, Big K said in his fucking A-Ward verse, he said some shit. He's like, he's talking about some shit that got let off. He's like, but now you broke and got beef. You can't throw it away. You know what I'm saying? He talk about people that be so broke that they can't even, get rid of their hammers, even if it's dirty. It's like, I just gotta keep this, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's the case with this guy right here. I'm just saying it'd be all these scenarios, whether it's a souvenir, whether you think, oh, I'm never getting caught, whether you think, oh, it's in a safe. It's just like people use these weapons or these phones and these devices or these cars or these knobs or whatever, and then you put them right in your house. And when they find out where you at, that's one of the first places they get a warrant to fucking come and check your crib. You're helping me. Thank you. So I'm coming to your crib. Oh, here goes the car. Oh, here goes the rifle. Oh, here goes the rifle with the catches, which is why we didn't find no shells on the scene. Oh, here goes some other spent cases. Let's do some ballistics on these. Oh shit, these match a prior shooting. Oh, these ones right here match the actual murder last week. Okay, thank you, appreciate you. That shit is just wild, B. It's just like the reckless nature of people sometimes. Maybe it's just me.
They just couldn't find the actual gun. Zay's house would get hit by a warrant next, Finding a Glock with an extended magazine, a Glock box, and notes in a notebook detailing Glock switches. The Glock wasn't a match to the murder, and a poster would be found in Zay's bedroom dissing Foolio's gang. Now, when
of course, you
Rashad
can't.
Murphy was arrested,
You can't get locked up for a poster. But once again, all of this shit just plays in front of the jury and the judge. It's like, even if you don't have somebody totally red-handed, remember, you still get convicted based on a jury of your peers, right? They're still going to go back in that room and they're going to all decide, guilty or not guilty. And all these little details is what plays. The poster, you might think it's stupid, or my lawyer could just say, like, yeah, that's based on the music. But it's gonna play in court, and the prosecutors is gonna tie all that shit in to paint a fucking picture. They're gonna paint a super portrait with you. If they don't already got enough evidence on you, but even those little details, they add up. Like, I wouldn't have none of that. None of that shit. No songs, no posters, no nothing. Small or big. I wouldn't have none of that shit.
In Georgia, he was in possession of an iPhone, and within the iPhone was a photo of Davion Murphy's ID, linking the two together. Another photo was taken by someone looking at the floorboard of a vehicle wearing black military-style boots, the same ones worn by shooter number 1 who fired the switch. Screenshots of
pictures. That's one thing I haven't mentioned so far that I haven't been hearing. Pictures. They just keep a picture. All types of shit. Being like, whatever.
An Airbnb confirmation and Rashad's ID was enough to prove he rented an Airbnb 1.3 miles away from where Foolio would be killed. The property was equipped with a Ring camera that showed Alicia entering the day before the murder. The day of, Zay could be seen walking out with a champagne glass. Davion can be seen carrying a bag to the parking lot, and Zay and Sean would pass by multiple times. The only one who wasn't seen by the Ring camera is Rashad Murphy. The Airbnb would be paid for by a Cash App account named Rich Off War belonging to Zay, so while Rashad booked it, Zay financed it.
That right there links them. You know what I'm saying? Puts them two 100% together outside of the pictures and everything. You booked it. He paid for it. Why would you pay for something that you booked? It's just all of these. When you talk about evidence, like, you trying to say that this ain't fucking open and shut? You really think this ain't open and shut? This is a lot of fucking evidence they got on these people, man. A lot.
The Airbnb Ring camera would capture a gray SUV waiting in the background as the defendants left. The SUV would be identified as an Uber, and the driver as witness number 2. He was hired to drive from Tampa to Jacksonville, picked up 3 people, and drove them to Sean's home in Jacksonville. Come to find out, Sean's home has security cameras and detectives would get a warrant for the footage. Video would show Rashad, Zay, and Alicia exiting the Uber, and witness number 2 would identify them as well, placing them all at the Airbnb where they were picked up. In addition, Sean's home surveillance also had video from before the murder, showing Zay and Sean loading bags big enough to fit rifles into the black Chevy before leaving for Tampa.
So that's another one. We spoke earlier about the cars that were registered to family members and all that type of stuff in some of these trips and some of this movement. But then even when you get to a certain point and then you try to switch off to an Uber, these Ubers, you know how we said earlier, like, you know, even in movies and art imitates life, they have the switch car, rob the bank with the stolen car, you know, get away from the scene, pull up to where your other car is, switch to that type of car, burn the stolen car, even though it's stolen and it can't be traced back to any of the people that's involved, any of the suspects. These people think that maybe switching to an Uber. These Ubers is got all types of location devices and navigation and records of this and records of that. The Uber app that you may have on your fucking phone, placing the order for all this type of shit. Like, Uber ain't safe to try to fucking hide behind, Lyft and all that type of shit. Fuck around and is doing that much more.
Warrants were obtained for every suspect's phone and found that.
And notice they said the Uber person became one of the witnesses. Yeah, grab his ass, sit him down real quick and say, you better speak. And you know, he innocent as shit. He gonna speak quick. The Uber driver. Uber drivers ain't going for that type of shit. I don't know what Uber drivers make, man, but I'm pretty sure, I have yet to cross paths directly or indirectly with a millionaire Uber driver. You know what I'm saying? You grab one of them. Hey, what's going on with this? By the way, these people are possible suspects of the murder. You say, listen, man, I was doing my job. What you want to know? What he was wearing? What did he say while he was in the back seat? And all, yep, yep. Quick.
Rashad traveled to Tampa without one, but his phone also showed he went.
And not saying that that's a bad thing, because these Uber drivers are civilians, by the way.
To Walmart the night before going to Tampa. Surveillance video from Walmart would show he just so happened to be wearing the same exact outfit down to the military boots as shooter number 1 who fired the Glock with a switch. It was also later verified Rashad is left-handed, as the shooter was. Alicia's phone would show she traveled to Tampa, arrived at the B&B, and even went to McDonald's. Surveillance video from McDonald's would show her in the front passenger seat with Davion driving. Post Miranda, she'd tell investigators in an interview that her and Zay were in the backseat and she didn't know who was driving. Her phone would track her back to the Airbnb before leaving for the club. She'd be tracked to the clubs, was communicating with Sean, and was on surveillance video at both places. Her iCloud would show she also shared her location with Sean 3 different times while tracking Foolio. Zay, Sean, and Davion would all be tracked by their cell phone GPSs to every single location. Sean's phone would also reveal he was messaging a female, asking her to contact the male that was with Foolio to get their location. A message found after the murder was committed would state, "I'm coming home. My thirst is quenched."
Remember in The Wire, they were so heavy trying to use these burner phones and all that. And then, of course, the detectives finally got up on those. Figured out, track down the gas stations or the radius that some of these phones is being purchased in and all that. And even the niggas on the other side, they trying to switch up where they buy their phones from, how many they buy at one time and from one spot, and never use the same pay for all this type of shit, right? But even that isn't being used here. This sound like their personal phones, right? We're not hearing nothing about no burner phones or some prepaids that would just cop real quick at the Quick Mart. We're not hearing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is just so much evidence that these people gave the detectives. You know what I'm saying? And they probably got such a checklist of things to just run down for their suspects. Give me a license plate, and then I can go down and run off all this other shit that's tied to that license plate. Like real shit.
Pop a bottle of Don Julio today. Murphy. Alicia provided a post-Miranda statement where she identified herself and all the footage she was seen in, and identified Zay as the one driving while tracking Foolio. She admitted to allowing Zay to use her phone while communicating with Sean, but denied knowledge of the murder and was caught lying multiple.
That's funny, right? I let such and such use my phone. Isn't that pointing? Like, it wasn't even me texting on my phone. Somebody just happened to ask me for my phone and I gave it. I don't know what they did with it. I just happened to be in the car. As this girl right here, if they haven't already flipped, I mean, that's, to me, is flipping. That's flipping on your people. Like, you already implicating them and you're trying to say you had nothing to do with the murder, but I gave my phone to somebody else. Right there, she's already telling on them. Already.
Times during the interview. She claimed she was only at the clubs because they were thinking of partying there. She claimed her and Zay walked up to ask how much it was to get into each club, but that was proven false by the surveillance video. She'd even admit to her and Zay being at the scene of the murder, claiming they were just lost and didn't know the victims. Now, it's hard to say that these are the alleged killers when you read 18 pages of that, of how they were able to be tracked from Jacksonville, every GPS location. Then they're getting surveillance video from every single place that they were in. Sean's fucked. I'm going to tell you that right now. This kid's got shell casings from when Foolio got hit in the foot. He's got the casings from the murder. I don't think he's gonna get out of the damn thing. Like, there's nothing for him. I don't know why he's collecting shit like on some Jeffrey Dahmer, whatever. Like, you know how the murderers, they keep something from when they do shit. I don't know, but this kid's just fucking taking collectibles, like he's just showing it off at his crib. Oh yeah, that's when we shot at him. This is when we actually did it. Makes zero sense why he would keep all that shit, but they got it. They got everything. They got the outfits. They got the wearing the outfits before that, wearing it after. They know who was who. They took. I don't see how they would beat this aside from a mistake being made by the courts. And the fact that they want to set an example so bad, I don't think that there's any chance that they're getting out of this.
Even going back to the phone thing, like, I keep saying art imitates life. So you watch some of this, like, let me use my favorite shit of all time again. Let me use The Wire, right? I love to use The Wire as an example because if you really, really know The Wire, not only is it real close to a lot of realistic things that they depict across those series, not only does it have a lot of depth, but a lot of the actors and a lot of the direction and a lot of the writers involved come from real backgrounds. Like, there's like real police detectives and real street people, you know, real people from school systems that's involved in the making of The Wire, that's putting in real shit, you know, so they can create that fucking masterpiece of a series, right? Even then, going back to stuff like the phones, right? What was that? Remember the scene with Weebay, right? Weebay and I forget what other shooter he was with, but there was who was that? Alonzo, whoever that was the front person for the restaurant or the bar, whatever the case may be. And Kima was in the car playing undercover at the time as well, and they ran up on the car. They was really going for, wasn't it, Alonzo or whatever, but they ended up hitting Kima too, who was an undercover detective. But remember when they left after the shooting, and then, you know, they kind of went through the woods and all that type of stuff, and they used a payphone. It was a real quick payphone thing, like, yo, done, hang up. Even that. So you would think that if you're on your premeditated shit and then you got to get word to whoever that the job is done or whatever the case may be, these people in this situation looks like they're using their personal cell phones, right? Not even burners, like we said earlier, right? But even in that depiction of realistic shit, like in The Wire, when they ran through the woods and all that type of shit, and then they used the payphone, said 2 words and hung up. Look at how they even pieced that together. We said in the recent stream, like, these detectives and these cops ain't stupid. They took the time of that call, the amount of time that it would take to go from that car where the shooting happened to the payphone. I think that Lester or somebody dusted evidence off the payphone. Maybe there was a soda can or something there. I don't know if you picked it up with your regular hands. Are there prints on it? You grab Weebay later. Oh, there's prints on his phone around it. All that type of shit. You know, the timing, all that, even the timing adds up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, in court, they're not going for coincidences. Like, oh, a mile from the shooting, and it takes 10 minutes to get from the shooting a mile away, walking to this payphone, and about that 10-minute distance, right? There happened to have been a phone call to this cell phone, who actually also is a suspect. We don't even have the words that was said, but we're not going in court for this coincidence. You just happen to be a mile away from the shooting, take exactly how long it took for that phone call to be made from that payphone that only lasted 5 seconds. Who makes 5-second pay? Like, all of that, the jury got to hear that. The jury got to hear that. The judge, all these people got to hear that. And the only thing that they could do is just play stupid. Or you got to try to treat them like they stupid. It's like, once again, it's like this nigga that I just did the live on yesterday. It's like you put all this stupid shit in front of somebody and you want them to be stupid. You want to just try to have them accept 20 coincidences. No, it's past where there's smoke, there's fire. You got all of this shit and you want me to ignore putting the puzzle together? Like, it's not even a puzzle with the little pieces. It's like the jumbo pieces, like the puzzles that you give to a 5-year-old that only got like 10 pieces total. Like, that's what be playing in front of the jury and the judge. So these niggas be it really is trading your life. It really is, you know. And like, you think about like the old Block 6 or whatever, right? they was out and about for like, what was it, like a year plus before they finally got grabbed, right? And during the course between the shooting and when they actually got grabbed, they were boasting, they were rapping, they were doing lives. The internet had already put a lot of shit on them. They would go live, and then people in the fucking chat would be like, "Oh yeah, you," and they'd be like, "What?" They would hang up their fucking lives, like, "Oh shit." And they just call me one of the suspects, and I actually am. You got Muop that did the fucking the flashing duck Gucci sneakers and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, even though it took that amount of time, some of these guys start walking around thinking like, "Oh, I'm in the clear." You might be walking around thinking you're in the clear just because you ain't get picked up 2 days later, or a week later, or a month later, or a year later. No, you're not in the clear. The only way to get in the clear is like go pull some Steven Seagal shit. And I just found that out recently. I didn't even know about Steven Seagal. I heard supposedly he has some accusations of the R word, and he took his ass to Russia. He left the country so that he can't face those charges, allegedly. That's why I heard that recently about Steven Seagal. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, that's the only way. You know what I mean? Like who else skipped out? Chi Ali. And Chi Ali, you see his Vlad interview. He says that he himself started moving sloppy. He started leaving the South, coming back up north a little bit more, and then eventually, he caught up with himself and they grabbed him. But he was moving around for a second, right? China Mac, these are people that actually hit the road. These are people that actually left their states after shootings. And it's just like, yo, I'm out of here. Right. Most of these people we be hearing these occurrences of, they get into these shootings, they get into these murders, they get into these crimes, and they still be right there in O Block. They be right there still, but they be right back to Jacksonville, right back to the address that's been on file for them forever. Yeah, I mean, it's wild. It's wild. But I guess some of that just plays to the fact that, yeah, I think that I'm gonna do this and get away with it, or I'm gonna play normal. I'm just gonna stay right here. Yeah.
What I think will happen is the girl is going to try to find a way out, or at least to get the least amount of time by cooperating
she already
against
is.
everyone else. She's already given an interview. She's already admitted the shit that's going to hurt Zay.
Yeah.
Even though she denied the murder, she's like, "Oh, we were there though, but we didn't know anybody." Like, yeah, that's not going to help.
We were lost.
I think she's going to fold first. I think
she already
someone
did.
else will fold second. And I think
she already did by saying that, "Oh no, I gave him my phone." Oh, that's steps of folding and saying like, not me. That person is the one that sent those texts or whatever. She already did.
The shooters won't have an option because it sounds like they have everything they need to send them to prison for life. The one thing I'm wondering is, this is as premeditated as it gets. Premeditated murder in Florida is punishable by death if they decide to seek it. Now they want to execute YNW Melly. They want to send him to death row. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing in this case. And to be honest with you, I feel like the evidence is stronger in this case than it is in Melly's. But we'll just have to wait and see. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section.
Yo, possibly facing the death penalty for premeditated murder. And that's another spot where obviously they get a lot of people to take deals, whether they, confess to a lesser crime, whether they confess or accept, plea out to even the current charges, or people get to telling and all that type of stuff. Like ending up in that shit, like they be getting they people, man. Like you gotta have Johnny Cochran and the fucking all-star team and all this type of shit to get off. And that shit be so fucking rare. Like people be really thinking like these cops and these detectives are stupid, or yeah, I'm just gonna get off and I'm gonna maybe sit down for a year and then or maybe get bail and I'm gonna be more notorious. Like it don't play like that. Especially if it's big news. Like Foolio at the end of the day has a following. This became big news. It goes viral. Everybody blogs and talks about it. And it becomes that much more of a situation to bring justice to the people and to society. The news headlines of it makes it that much more worse. You know what I'm saying? For the people that actually did it. You know what I mean? So you know, the whole death penalty thing as well. A lot of people don't get that far. I think a lot of people be like, "Yo, what do I need to do to skip out even facing that possible judgment?" And what I gotta do? Just accept 25? Fuck it, I'll do that. Accept life? Fuck it, I'll do that. Figure out how to live life behind a wall instead of life as a free person, a free man, or a free woman. But nah, I don't feel like laying down on that table and getting that needle. Nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And so even facing the death penalty, people will fuck around and yeah, I'm out of here. Yo, what's my lawyer telling me? Especially if you don't got some super duper lawyer. What's my lawyer telling me? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna take the deal. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Let me look at the chat real quick. Um, that guy says insane. Literally, same actions, expecting change. 100%. 100%. Jojo was good. I see mods in the building. A lot of people don't realize they have digital forensic analysis now. Y'all I saw something on Instagram. Is it a particular arena or all arenas? I forget. I think it was a football arena where the whole arena is now doing digital face recognition. Right. So if you happen to go to this football game or a football game in this particular arena, you know, your face will be recorded and it will go through the face recognizing type system. You know what I'm saying? Where they could just spot anybody in the crowd and say, that's Jesse Ventura. That's the, you know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Real shit. And me, somebody that ain't out here breaking the law and living that type of life, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not for doing shit that takes away our freedom or makes us live uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the guy that goes to the airport mad because you want to check my bag. Ain't shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me. I don't whatever, you know, like that type of shit. I ain't tripping on. I ain't tripping on at all. Oh shit. Yeah, man, it's wild, man. These people, we're gonna follow this. And I want to see what the charge. I mean, the actual charges that hit. I want to see if they plea out. D Bizzle says, bruh, they had footage from a Tesla camera. See that the license plate readers from tow trucks, the cameras, fucking tolls, even toll, everything. Put the time in, it puts you in these places. Then you get to the point where you're just like, oh yeah, I happen to be there, even though I'm from Jacksonville. I was lost. What? We also got you footage on the Airbnb yesterday too. What was you doing there? We came into town to hang out. Okay. We got you on footage here at the club too. Oh yeah, we was looking at a party. Oh, I got you right here at the Holiday Inn, driving past Fulio's car twice. Oh, that's when we was lost. What's up with the same outfit, the boots and all that? That's in this footage right here as a shooter. I like those boots too. You know what I'm saying? It just be crazy. Why you got these shells in your safe? You know what I'm saying? They happen to match a shooting the Fulio. You also got this poster saying "fuck Fulio" in your crib. It's like it's a lot. It's a lot, B. It's a lot. And it's literally trading your life. It's literally saying, yo, you know, I want to get this person out of here and I'm gonna face whatever. It's just wild, B. I'm a Cali Crip nigga. That 03 Freedom shit could have got him killed in Cali, bro. Who's that about? What's that about? Nai said something was wrong about 03 Freedom. I'm from Cali, the Crip culture. What's that about? I'm trying to scroll up. Shout out to Ruin Your Day in the building. What are those bear figures called? Bear bricks. And you look up bear bricks on Amazon or on the internet, Avo, and you'll see they got them for almost everything. They got a dope one that's like Supreme. It's got like a Nike like hoodie on and everything with like Nike sneakers and shit. I seen them for everything. I seen a Marilyn Monroe one. I seen they got one. They're like Funko Pops, like this damn near a bear brick for everything. And the smaller joints is called Kaws, Kaws, but the big joints is called Bear Bricks. So I got the New York subway system behind me. I got the Matrix joint right there. I got Squid Games, and then that right there is the Billionaires Boy Club. So yeah, they popular. 1090 should have nothing to do with our culture. Magnus, salute to you. I think I asked that question. Okay. That's what these was about. All right. Now he says something wrong about O3 Freedom. I'm from Cali, Crip culture. All right, so he's saying that he disrespected Cali or Crip culture or something like that. That's what you're saying? Magna. Okay, I mean, I guess I gotta catch up on that. I'm not really sure what that's about. But yeah, I'm not I don't know nothing personal like that with 1090 Jake. I just know he does excellent content, and he does have a street background. So, you know, aside from that, I guess we could chop any other fables whenever they happen. But all right, y'all appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. We're gonna continue to follow this with these 5 suspects now that they are all in custody. If it ain't one thing, it's another, right? Sorry, it's true.